From the depths of radio nothingness comes Radio Nowhere.
This is Radio Nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? This is Radio Nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there?
WJBD is proud to permit Radio Nowhere.
All right, we're back.
And welcome back.
And we are back.
It is good to be back. Back on Radio Nowhere, on WJBD. Steve, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am feeling a lot better. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, or whichever night you want to call it, because I was working all night, and I got home at like 5 in the morning. I got about 4.5 hours of sleep, and then had a busy day today. Got to see you.
Yes.
And then I went home and took a quick nap, and I feel actually pretty good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of sleep, it looks like Matt and Matt have crawled over into the corner together and taking a little siesta.
Well, you know, it's tough. It's tough when your day kind of goes the way ours did. Can we talk about what we did today?
We can.
Okay. So we went out to your dad's place, and we filmed a part of a horror movie for a friend of a friend sort of deal. Some of our friends from St. Louis came over with some of their friends from St. Louis, and one of their friends from St. Louis is filming a horror movie because he's a big fan of horror movies. So we filmed some scenes, and I got to be an extra in and when I say movie, I mean it's only one step above, if that, home movie, but it was a lot of fun.
I was kind of impressed. At one point I looked over there and you had a boom mic and all kinds of stuff going on.
He came prepared equipment-wise, and it was a pretty good deal. And the level of I don't know, commitment's not quite the right word that I want to say, but the level of thought that he had come together with just kind of blew my mind, because the sort of things he was planning for were just incredible.
Well, I wasn't back there for a majority of it. I was up there getting ready to race, but I have to say, just the amount of equipment he had brought, and everything seemed to be pretty planned. I was kind of impressed.
Yeah, and I thought one of the better parts of the day was right before we started. I saw Matt Donahoe trying to race at your racetrack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that went real well for him.
And I thought that went about as well as I would have expected.
Yeah, I don't even know that he barely pulled the trigger, but he was kind of struggling, figuring out which way was left and which way was right, and where the track was.
Which, in all fairness, those RC controllers are not real.
It takes
intuitive.
A little getting used to. I mean, it does, I admit, but we all know Matt can't drive anyway.
Well, right. Let's talk a little bit about the music we played. We heard Prince featuring Tevin Campbell, Round and Round, and Genesis featuring Mr. Phil Collins, Land of Confusion, which we were talking a little bit before we turned the mics on about the video for that.
Yes. Do you remember the video?
Oh, absolutely. It was the, and I can't remember what they called
the
that.
Croft puppets.
Well, that wasn't they were they had some sort of show that, or
yeah, DC Follies was the TV show they had for a while that had the Croft puppets on it.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about? They had the presidents, of course,
right,
and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it was the same group. But I remember the video had the Ronald Reagan puppet, and,
right?
His I don't know what you'd even call it. It was kind of just a ridiculous storyline, but it was funny and it was pretty entertaining.
Okay, yeah, and it was one of the many videos from Genesis that were kind of wild, but one of those that in the MTV era, which
What's that?
Anyone that's under like 30 probably has no concept of the MTV era if I wasn't referring to the real world or something of that nature. So.
Yeah, I mean, really and truthfully, that's something that actually gets me fired up, is why even call it MTV at this point, honestly?
Well,
reality TV. It should just be, real or whatever. And I think they already have that, but honestly, just make it real 2 or 3 or whatever.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Don't hold back, Steve. So, I am thinking we should play another song or two, and then when we come back, we can maybe discuss a few other things. Well, actually, I was going to ask you, did you win any races tonight?
I think I ended up winning a couple. I had kind of another rough night, but it was all right. I mean, we had fun.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
That and winning.
Yeah, that too.
Radio Nowhere.
WJBD.
Yeah, that was third base. Pop Goes the Weasel. Their little jab, I guess, at Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that song.
So I have to ask.
Oh, wait. Don't we need to back announce the other songs?
If you must.
Well, we should. We heard the Beach Boys, Surfing USA, because it is the unofficial start to summer.
True.
We heard Daft Punk, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. And Jesus Jones set off a fairly long set of music right here, right now. Can I
ask my question now?
Yes, fire away.
So, Pop Goes the Weasel was a game. For some reason, I am putting a Jack in the Box and Pop Goes the Weasel in the same category. Because
a lot of, and I don't know if all, but the one I had, when you turn the crank, that's what the Jack music, in the Box, the little music box inside. Yeah. That's what it played.
And mine was the same.
And if you played it, you could do it at any speed, so you could make it sound really sickly almost. And that was kind of, that's why.
Honestly, it was kind of a sick toy. I mean, really and truthfully, just sitting here thinking about it.
Now
mine was old. It was like a metal box.
Right.
And the little weasel or clown or whatever it was that popped out, it was creepy.
Right.
And thinking back, I mean, why would you get your child that?
It was meant, I'm sure, to desensitize people to the scary visage of clowns.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only thing I can come up with, because nothing else would make sense.
I'm not having good feelings thinking about it. Let's just put it that way.
So you're not apt to get your kids a Jack in the Box or whatever.
Oh yeah, they'd probably love it.
It is 12:30, and it is time for a look at the Weather Eye forecast.
Did I hear we have a sponsor this week?
We do. I don't know. Just says play this ad. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Here's our Weather Eye sponsor on WJBD.
Hello, friend of mine. How much do you like eating food with your mouth?
I very much like eating the food with my mouth, especially the biscuit foods.
If the words you are saying to me are truth, then you must go on down to John's Biscuit Emporium.
John's Biscuit Emporium? Whatever could that be? Mayhap a source for biscuit?
It is the place for tasty, fresh biscuit buying in Salem. They only ever sell the most freshest of biscuits for eating, yum.
The fresh is my very favoritist biscuit to eat.
To eat with your mouth?
Why, yes, biscuit, sir, en route to my tummy.
Then let us adjourn to only freshness, not day-old ever at all, at the epicenter of biscuitry, John's Biscuit Emporium.
I give the biscuit a hug, and then I take a bite.
Me too.
And here's your weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 62. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high of 81. I'm still a little confused on the mostly cloudy, partly sunny thing. I'll be honest with you. I guess it's just if you're an optimist or not that day.
Well, the thing I'm concerned about is if you are our weather expert, why you don't know the difference between the two.
Okay, well, I'll make the decision right here and now. Tomorrow will be partly sunny.
Okay.
Which means you might see a stray cloud. But the rest of the part, it's going to be sunny. Monday, it's going to be partly sunny again, which means mostly sun, partly, with with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Wouldn't be Memorial Day without it on Monday. High in the mid-80s for Monday. Monday night, partly cloudy. I guess being night, it wouldn't be partly. So, okay, I'm starting to figure it out a little bit, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so with a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms Monday night. Low in the upper 60s. Looks like through our week, this coming week, looks like we've got a slight chance, 30 to 40% chance of rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then it looks like it's going to be sunny Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And looks like our temperatures are going to be in the 80s. That is your weather forecast.
All right. And I guess John's Biscuits is back in action.
I thought we weren't supposed to play that ad. I thought John specifically said that ad was not to his liking.
Did we ever find out what John didn't like about?
Well, the message I got from him was we didn't mention the day-old biscuits. There should have been a little more emphasis on just the biscuit loving itself.
Well, I thought we mentioned. I think that ad mentions that they don't sell day-old biscuits.
Well,
that they're always fresh. I mean, there's no real other way to interpret that, is there?
Well, I don't know, but John was not pleased. I thought there was something about, he said something about highlighting the new ovens they've put in and the new streamline process. I don't really know what that means. I mean, I don't know how you streamline a biscuit, but apparently they did.
Maybe they're going to make more than one in an oven. I mean, that seems to me like the best.
One would think that would be step number one.
I mean, they run that biscuit, kitchen like day and night, and they always sell out.
Yeah.
I mean, by like 10 o'clock most mornings.
Usually, yeah.
And it's like, you would think that, I've gone there before and asked for a dozen biscuits, and they've limited me to 4.
You just go for a dozen, really?
Yeah. Well,
I usually get at least 2.
Well, I've given up asking for 2 dozen, because even if you ask for 2 dozen, they're still going to only give you 4.
Well, you got to get there and get in line early. I mean, the line starts forming. They open at, 5 a.m.?
4:30.
4:30? Well, you got to be there by like 3:30. Half the time when I get off the show here, I head up and prepare for my biscuit goodness.
I do question why John's even really. I mean, I hate to say this is almost blasphemous being on a commercial radio station, but I really don't even understand why he needs to advertise.
True. I mean, everybody knows. He was talking about going global, and I'm telling you right now, if he ever does that, I'm buying butter stock because butter is going to go through the roof.
I do not doubt you. Let's get back into some music real quick. We were talking before the break that in that last song we played, Pop Goes the Weasel, they sample Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. Mm-hmm. We thought, that'd be a good song to play.
Still a creepy toy, though.
What, a sledgehammer?
No, that'd be awesome.
Who plays with sledgehammers? Full service, 100.1 FM, WJBD. My headphones are ridiculously
You are
loud.
really loud all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's the headphones. I've hit some button over here. Nope, that's not it. There we go.
That's a little better.
Much better. Whew, I was a little worried. I was like, my levels are not that high on the board, but man, I sounded distorted in my headphones.
Yeah, I believe you just ruined the show.
This is not. Oh, come on now, Steve. You're better than that. Anyway, that was Erasure, chorus, and before that we did hear Peter Gabriel's
Sledgehammer. Speaking of Sledgehammer, do you remember Sledgehammer, the TV show?
I kind of do. He was kind of I want to say he was a
Idiot?
cop.
Yeah, he was an idiot.
But, yeah. And I don't remember who played him. Someone that was not of very large consequence, if I'm remembering correctly.
Do you remember how the first season ended?
That I do not.
I believe they ended up, nuking the city because they didn't think it was coming back for a second season. And then, lo and behold, it did. So the second season had to be Sledgehammer the early years.
Oh, wow.
As a prequel. Yeah, because they blew everything up in the finale of the first season.
That is that's one of those good stories, a good life lesson. Don't ever burn your bridges, because you just never know.
Can I go on a rant for just a second?
Please do. I haven't heard you rant about anything in a while.
Speaking of TV shows and season finales and
as long as it's not about Star Trek.
It's not.
Okay.
So have you ever watched the show Revolution?
No.
Wednesday nights, NBC.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Good show. It was about basically the world loses power,
Okay.
and everybody's kind of had to resort back to candles and old firearms, knives, swords, that type of thing.
Okay.
It did get kind of sci-fi, but apparently NBC pulled the plug on it very late, and this was season 2. So last Wednesday was the series finale, but it was filmed as a season finale. So the episode ends, and basically like on a cliffhanger,
Right.
and now it's gone, and I feel like I've wasted 2 years of my life watching at a show that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm a little miffed about it.
Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, but honestly, if you're going to cancel a show, give them enough time, or at least say, hey, we've canceled your show. We're going to put off your season finale for a few weeks so you can go back and properly finish the show so your viewers aren't gypped.
Yeah, but it takes weeks and weeks and weeks, and I would suspect in a show like that, it probably takes months to film an episode.
But I watched it for 2 years, and now it's just like, yeah, that was great. And not to mention now when a new show starts, I don't want to watch it because it's like I'm going to get drawn into it, I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to get into it, and they're just going to pull it away.
See, that's what you need to do. What I do, I just wait until they're on a DVD or Netflix.
Yeah. Well,
Plus, that way I don't have to worry about ever getting cable or dish. So.
True. Yeah, I was a little ticked by it.
I can understand that. Well, you ready for some Soup Dragons? Do you remember the Soup Dragons?
I do.
Divine Thing. They were big in the early 90s. This is one of those rare gems. The song Divine Thing was a pretty big hit for them. But this is the live version when they were on David Letterman. So.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go.
Do it.
Radio Nowhere.
On WJBD.
That was the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club Beat the Devil's Tattoo, which I think has a little bit of a, not a real close cadence, but it has the same sort of feel tempo-wise as that Divine Thing song by the Soup Dragons.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I mean,
I've never heard
not
that song.
Not like real crazy much, but just enough that it makes me kind of. Whenever I hear the one, I kind of think of the other. And it may be that I had them on a mixtape or something together. That's probably more the problem.
Could be.
But anywho. Oh, well, it's been a good night, despite the fact that the
everybody's
snoring,
sleeping.
I mean, I didn't realize everyone was just. I mean, they were. The weirdest thing was, Matt and Funky were just chatting up a storm, and then Matt said something like, "Oh, I'm just gonna lay down here on the floor for a second." And I'm like, "That's weird."
Mm-hmm.
And then Funky, next thing I know, Funky's on the floor sleeping too, and I'm like, "Guys."
I think we need to get cots in here. I mean, really, it's kind of becoming maybe there's a carbon monoxide leak or something, and we just haven't been affected yet.
That could be. We may have a higher tolerance for it.
Possibly.
Well, we've done it again.
We have.
We've spent another. Hey, we actually got the full show in pretty much. I think the very
minor
the very first little tick of the intro got cut off, and then the computer took over a little bit.
Yeah, we played the
for a
WJBD
quarter
minor
second
thing like 8 times. I think.
So,
but
yeah,
it happens.
Part of that was before we even got on, so
True.
I don't think that part was our fault.
Okay.
Regardless, it's been good. I think best show ever. Probably not.
Probably not, but I want to remind everybody to find us on Facebook. Just look up WJBD Radio Nowhere. Give us your thoughts. Like us. We like it when you like us. Because if you don't like us, just don't click anything.
Yeah. Well, and if you have a story or a favorite memory of, going to John's Biscuits as a kid, or, maybe as on that first date, or, maybe that's where... I do know that John's Biscuits holds a surprising number of wedding receptions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I go by there on a Friday night or Saturday night, and I see like all these guys in tuxes, and I get a little nervous for a second. And then I go, "Oh, it's just a wedding reception."
Mm-hmm. There's limos there all the time.
So I mean, it is the place to be, and I know a lot of people have had a lot of fond memories of a variety of natures from John's Biscuits. Everything. I mean, I've seen christenings happen there. I've seen wakes occur at John's Biscuits. Pretty much A to Z on the whole biscuitry.
Yeah,
So.
you name it. You name it, it's happened.
So if you have a favorite memory of
We'd like to hear it.
John's Biscuits, just post to our WJBD Radio Nowhere page. Just I'll have Steve, will you start a
fond
header
biscuit memory?
Yeah, and just post your biscuit
I
memory
can do
here.
that.
Just whenever you get time, we'll do that, and I think that'll wrap it up for tonight. So if you like what you've heard,
tell a friend.
If you don't like what you've heard,
don't tell anybody ever.
I started a joke.
WJBD Salem Centralia.
This has been an I Love Raisins production.